Well, we're back in week 3 of Becoming the Hope of the World, and we're going to talk about that today. What does it mean to be the hope of the world? In John chapter 13, no wait, it's 14. John chapter 14, Jesus says this, "My peace I leave with you, not as the world gives you, give unto you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." That God wants to bring peace to our lives and peace to our world. On the weekend, we talked about that global vision, local global vision, personal local global vision, about being on mission with God, on task with God. But I want to boil that down to a little bit. How do we bring God's peace to the world? What is our responsibility on bringing God's peace to the world? Now, I've had a privilege of going to a lot of places in the world. I mean, Tara and I sat down the other day and I counted up that we've been to 37 countries of the world. That's a lot of countries. And how did we ever afford to do that? I want to tell you how we afford to do it. The Lord sent it, and the Lord paid our way. It's incredible how gracious God was to us to let us go and see places like Africa and places like Southeast Asia, places like Cambodia and Thailand and Vietnam. Of course, that's Southeast Asia. Places like Kazakhstan in Central Asia. Places in Latin America, in the Caribbean. We got to go see those places. And in those places, you know what we found? We found the church. Wherever we went, we found the church. The God's church is all over this world. In fact, we have the biggest distribution of the church than any other institution or organization known to mankind. The church is all over. But how does the church and us as a church implement God's peace? Now, I'm going to say some things before I jump into this. We can't bring heaven to earth. We can't. It's not heaven. It's earth. In this world, we'll have troubles, and that's true. But Jesus says, I'm going to give you a little glimpse of heaven. And I think about that, glimpses of heaven. There are times that I look in my wife's eyes and I see a little glimpse of heaven. There's times when I see my grandchildren, I get a little glimpse of heaven. There's times when I'm with my kids and I get a little glimpse of heaven. With my friends, a little glimpse of heaven. It just what God gives you, those little things. I stand on the edge of the ocean and see a glimpse, or stand and look at the beauty of the mountains and get a glimpse of heaven. And then, or see needs met and people freed and maybe people baptized or maybe people coming to recovery. I get a little glimpse of heaven. And what God's peace is that we want to give people a little taste of heaven here on earth. How do we do that? What is our strategic plan? How do we go about doing that? So I want to break it down in an easy acronym. And this is our intentional strategic philosophy to bring God's peace to us personally, locally, and then, of course, globally. So let's look at it. First, in the acrostic piece, we want to partner. We want to partner with people who want to do the right thing. Sometimes they're not Christians, but we partner with them because they want to do the right thing. Now, why do we partner with them? Well, we hope to tell them about Christ and let Christ save them. Absolutely. I know in my dealings with people in Washington, D.C. and other places that are not believers that I want to influence them for Jesus and have a chance to tell my story, how Christ saved me, how he loves me. So use that as an opportunity to introduce them to the greatest thing that ever happened to them, and that's a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. But we want to partner. And when we go into other cultures, we want to find men and women of peace that we can partner with. Jesus said, when you go into a village, find a man of peace, and there plant your life with them. So we want to partner. And we do that personally. We do that locally. Who are the entities in this local area that we partner with? Well, Billy T. Catan Recovery Outreach is one of them. We partner with them. Salvation Army, we partner with them. Other churches, we partner with them. We partner with them to bring God's peace. So that's the P, we partner. The second thing is we equip. What does that mean? We equip leaders to lead well with time-honored biblical principles. That we share what we've learned, one beggar telling other beggars what we've learned about how to be leaders that honor God. What does it mean to say, you first, not me, but you? How do we untangle the egotistic leader that's toxic and destructive and becomes a servant leader like Jesus? You do that by equipping leaders to lead well. One of the things I've discovered going all over the world that if I stay as a gringo, want to lead something, I'm not any good. But if I equip a local leader and empower them and give them the tools they need, man, they thrive. It's amazing how that works, locally and personally and globally. That works. And then we want to assist. We want to assist people. Maybe it's assist them with poverty. Maybe they need a hand up instead of a hand out. Maybe they need to have a chicken farm and sell eggs. That's what we're doing in Cuba. But that assisting the poor, to bring people out of poverty, to bring people assisting that are struggling with things in their life, to bring assistance. And that goes back to our brand promise, is that we're going to help you. We want to assist. But we also want to care. We want to care for those that are sick, those who are addicted. You know, it's not a sin to be sick, but it's a sin not to take care of the sick. And addiction is a sickness. Mental illness is a sickness. Pandemic diseases are sickness. HIV/AIDS is a sickness. All these things that need assistance and care, we want to do that. And sometimes it's a matter of just teaching basic hygiene, basic nutrition. Maybe it's caring for their food scarcity issues. And that goes back to assisting, how all this works together. Maybe providing, well, like we've done in Costa Rica, we built a kitchen in a local church, and now they're serving meals to hundreds of people, building their lives by caring for them. Caring for them. And then finally, we want to educate. We want to educate children. We want to educate adults. We want to give them tools to know how to thrive. One of the issues that I've kind of come into my life that I'm asked to do is to deal with forced migration and immigration. I really didn't want that job. But, you know, God really doesn't check my agenda or my want. He says, you're going to do this. And one of the things I've learned about migration is that human traffickers will lie. They'll go into a community and they'll lie. They'll say, hey, if you come with me, I'll take you to a better place and you'll have a better life. You'll make more money. You can send money back. And they're lying. And they charge thousands of dollars to bring someone to the United States. And they'll end up in indentured servanthood or into sex trade or into drug muling or whatever because they just lie. What if someone taught them that they were lying before they ever left? What if there was a root cause solution to education that helps people know what to do and how to do it? What if we equip children to know how to spot a predator and how to deal with them? What if we helped communities know how to do the right thing the right way, the right reasons, the right kind of love? And see, that's bringing God's peace. To partner, to equip, to assist, to care, and to educate, all for the glory of Christ. How does that manifest itself? God's going to show us. And He's doing it already in us, for us, and through us for His glory as we bring God's peace as the hope of the world. I hope you have a great discussion, and I hope this helps. And we have a strategy, so let's live that strategy. So peace out, literally. Let peace go out from us.